How we doing, sir?
Fantastic.
Good. Quite the controversial company you've built. So we were, Mike and I were deciding, do we bring the World Liberty Fi guys here or not? And we were talking to people, and I think there's some people say, don't elevate them. Some people say, they're doing amazing things for the industry. So I actually I want to go right to the heart of it and start there and just see how you think about this kind of the semi-controversial brand that you've built.
Yeah, so it's funny because the way I see it, we're not really doing anything controversial. The fact of the matter is that we are building DeFi products that make crypto available to the masses. If there's something controversial about that, please tell me what that is.
Yeah, I think so tell me the story. Tell me the backstory. Like, I think people don't realize, you've been in the industry for, I think, roughly a decade. Tell me the backstory of how this whole thing came to be.
Yeah, so, I've been in crypto for about a decade, as I'm sure a lot of people in here have probably been about the same, maybe longer, maybe less. But, ever since I got into crypto, and for me, I actually went to law school here in New York. And I had friends that were into Bitcoin. And I understood the benefit of it, but back in 2015, it wasn't clear that companies and governments and, private funds were going to be transacting in Bitcoin, and it was going to be this huge thing. But when I read the Ethereum white paper, coming from a law school background, it all clicked for me. When I understood the power of smart contracts and how that was going to shape everything from finance to transactions to legal to real estate, everything in between, that was really my big aha moment. And so, we went all in on Bitcoin and Ethereum once we understood that thesis. And, it was a different time back then. There were fewer companies, some of whom have survived to today. And, we're actually partnered with Chainlink and Aave. Well, Aave wasn't around in 2015, but the seeds were planted. And back then, the industry was very different. Everyone supported each other. There wasn't all of this infighting between different factions inside of crypto. This is good, this is bad. We're all building for the future. And the thing was, I think a lot of people who have been in crypto for as long as I have and as long as you have probably remember where there was this idea that it's just a matter of time before everybody understands what we understand and what we see here and what this potential really is. And it's just going to explode. And so over the last, let's say 8-9 years, none of that really happened. It was just next year, something's going to happen. And so, as somebody who's been an investor and behind the scenes on a lot of DeFi projects, a lot of, other projects, gaming projects, whatever, first there was all these different, metas, okay, it's going to be DeFi. Oh no, it's going to be gaming, Web3 gaming. Oh no, it's going to be DeFi. Oh, it's going to be Bitcoin. Nothing's really been that catalyst that's really moved us into the mainstream. And so when we first started this company, when we envisioned this company about 1.5 years ago, maybe a little longer at this point, the goal was to be that catalyst that actually brings crypto and specifically DeFi to the forefront.
So you guys had the idea for World Liberty before Trump gets elected?
Oh yeah. I mean, we started our token sale even before he got elected.
Yeah.
So, this is a project that we've been working on for quite some time now. The entire goal was to build DeFi products that make Web3 technology available to people who are familiar in operating in a Web2 environment, right? Because the whole thesis behind this is that all of the tools that are provided in Web3 and DeFi are so powerful. I mean, everyone in this room for the most part are builders. Everybody understands the power of Web3. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this room together. But the reality is that if you were to sit down and try to explain to your mom or your brother or whoever who's not in crypto how to actually take advantage of yield or on-chain lending and supplying of assets, they'd look at you like you were absolutely crazy, like you're talking about rocket science, right? Whereas these same people have absolutely no problem going on their computer, ordering off Amazon, searching things on Google, or, using Cash App or Venmo to send money between friends and family.
Right.
So the goal here really was to build products that take the power of Web3, but meet the customers and the potential new customers and market where they're at today, and give them the tools to be able to interact with the stuff that we believe is so powerful in DeFi, and make it so that they don't have to become, some sort of computer scientist, to be able to take advantage of these opportunities.
So why did you guys start with a stable? So you guys could have done a million different things, right? You could have launched a wallet first. You could have built a mobile app first. You could have built, competitor to Coinbase or something like that. Why start with a stablecoin?
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Stable coins are really going to be the future of transacting, whether it's on-chain or in the real world. And beyond that, we're at a point in history right now where the dollar's dominance as the reserve currency around the world is really being threatened and challenged. We see countries like China dumping T-bills, who have been traditionally the largest holders of treasury bills in the world. Now, you fast forward to today, they're dumping them, they're threatening to not purchase them. We have all of this debt that needs to be refinanced, right? And if you look at now who's becoming the largest purchasers of T-bills, Tether was, I believe, the 7th largest purchaser last year, either just behind or just in front of Germany. Yeah. Now, if you really believe that a strong dollar is a strong, global currency, which we truly believe, then somebody needs to step in and not only revolutionize the way that the dollar is used. Everything's moving to AI. Everything's moving to blockchain. The dollar needs to catch up and needs to get that revamp. But in addition, who would you rather, as the United States, hold your treasury bills? China, who's been a direct competitor of ours and a huge military superpower, or a privately held company that's regulated, based here in the United States, and doesn't have an army?
Yeah. So I was reading some of the New York Times articles about you guys before this. New York Times, Reuters, stuff like that. The two things that come up is kind of where's the money going? What does the actual treasury behind the scenes look like, and what kind of backroom dealings are they doing? How do you how do you think about that?
So I mean, the thing is that it's very unfortunate. But all of the legacy media, as we've seen through, this recent presidential campaign and, even through this administration, it's been exposed as having a very clear agenda. And, I'm not a very political person myself. I'm not involved in politics. Our company is a private company that's operating in DeFi and blockchain. And it was a very eye-opening experience for me when, we got involved with this project, just how corrupt they really are, printing things with unnamed sources, with unverified facts, and trying to create a narrative that's completely counter to the reality of what we're doing. And even to your first question, they're so controversial. I think everyone in this room would agree that nothing that I've said about our mission is in any way controversial. Our goal is no different from everyone in this room, which is to move DeFi and blockchain to the forefront of, mainstream adoption, right? Yeah. So when you read the articles that have all of these other agendas, it's really just sad to see that we as a collective industry in here are being attacked. It's not just world liberty that's being attacked. It's traditional legacy institutions like the banks who feel threatened, who oppose the Genius Bill, and they're using legacy media to try to create a narrative that just is completely false.
So the easy solution that you guys could do is either audits or proof of reserves or some combo of that.
Yep.
Will you guys do proof of reserves or get audited?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I'm pretty sure you're talking about our stablecoin USD1.
Yeah, USD1.
Which is fully issued here in the United States with BitGo as our issuer and custodian. BitGo has been around for a very long time, has an impeccable reputation. It's very hard to be in crypto for as long as BitGo has, and Mike Belshi, the founder, and have such a stellar reputation. And so for us, one of the most important pieces to building in DeFi is to not come in here and try to reinvent the wheel. And, I've been in crypto for 10 years. There are some incredible founders that are doing incredible work in the space. And our goal has always been to partner with them and leverage their technology to be able to create something that everyone in crypto can agree is the gold standard. And so to your point, USD1 is not only going to be audited, which actually the first attestation report from an accounting firm just got published yesterday and will be on the website within the next few days. We're going to have very transparent auditing from a financial level. But in addition to that, we're working very closely with Chainlink, Sergey, Johan, the whole team to be the first stablecoin that's going to implement Chainlink's proof of reserves and secure mint. So let me just take a second to explain, in case anyone's not familiar, why this is so important, okay? A stablecoin is only as stable as the assets that back it. And it's one thing to be able to see a monthly attestation report that's published on a website from, a financial auditor, right? That's great. But by being able to show in real time using Chainlink proof of reserves, not only what the assets are that back the stablecoin, but also where those assets sit, it gives additional transparency and trust to the actual stablecoin that's being used.
Yeah.
And so to take it one step further, and why we think that this is so exciting, is not only are we using Chainlink's proof of reserves to be able to show the assets that back USD1, but we're also using this in cohesion with Chainlink's secure mint. And so that gives every single user of USD1, whether they're a retail investor, whether they're a privately held fund, a government, a private institution, a company, the security of knowing that USD1 cannot mint new tokens without the funds actually being held in reserve. So secure mint ensures that there will never be USD1 minted that does not have at least a one-to-one backing held in custodian that's bankruptcy remote.
Maybe we can talk about just what comes next for you guys. I've heard rumors you guys are working on an app. I've heard rumors about maybe the World Liberty token starting to float and trade and stuff like that. I've heard some corporate treasury rumors. I'm curious how you think about, maybe we can start one by one. Are you guys going to launch an app, like a mobile app?
Yeah, so great question. I think a lot of people who have seen our website, when we pushed our new website live about a week or two ago, you can see that the retail application is coming. It's something that we've been working on for a very long time now with some of the best partners and builders in the space, both on our team and companies that we've partnered with. And this is kind of the culmination of what I was talking about in terms of creating a Web 2 style fintech application that allows a non-native crypto user to be able to very easily deposit funds, get the benefit of earning through DeFi applications, and being able to send and receive crypto between friends and family very easily. So the application is geared at onboarding the next 100 million users into DeFi without them having to become crypto natives like most of the people here in this room.
So you think about this maybe as a Coinbase competitor with DeFi on the back?
So the one reason I would say it's not a Coinbase competitor is we're not a centralized exchange. It's going to be self-custody. However, we're going to be giving people the ability to use things like social logins so that you don't need to worry about storing seed phrases and not losing access to your funds. So I wouldn't call us a competitor of Coinbase. I would say that we're building the first of its kind Web 2 style self-custodian wallet.
Nice. What about the more fun question, which is World Liberty Fi token, and then maybe the follow-up there would be the two biggest themes in the industry right now are stablecoins and then these kind of corporate treasury meta.
Sure.
So the initial thing is when will the World Liberty Fi token trade, if ever? And the second is, how do you think about how that ties into the corporate treasury meta?
Yeah, so first things first, I don't want to give away too much, but if you pay attention over the next couple weeks, I think everyone who wants to know when World Liberty is going to be very, very happy. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to give away too much, but I think that everybody is going to be very, very happy. And then on to your next point about corporate treasuries, I think it's incredible to see what's happening. We're very close with Michael Saylor. We're, huge fans of everything that he's done, both with strategy, as well as the way he's been able to kind of disseminate this idea of holding, corporate reserves in crypto, primarily Bitcoin, but other crypto as well. There has been a lot of interest from several public vehicles who want to use WLFI to be held in their treasury as well. When things are ready to be announced, they will certainly be announced, and it will be very noisy. But I think that it's a great approach for public companies that really want to capture the growth of crypto and put it on their balance sheet, because holding cash just isn't that useful. But there are other assets out there like Bitcoin, like other projects that actually have tremendous growth potential over the next 1, 5, 10, 20 years that make a lot more sense to hold than a municipal bond.
Yeah.
So I think that it's incredible to see. I think that that's another piece of this turning point that we're going to see, where crypto really does become mainstream, because what's more mainstream than holding crypto on a publicly traded balance sheet?
Yeah, totally. I don't know how much you can go into this, this next question. So, I mean, we'll see how much you can talk about it, but I see Eric Trump tweeting a lot about world liberty and the exciting things that are coming. So, I mean, everyone knows you guys are very close.
Yep.
What's their involvement been, and how helpful have they been?
Yeah, I mean, they've been incredible as co-founders. Like, to be honest, Eric was one of the reasons that we realized that we really needed to prioritize this idea of making, to steal Eric's phrase, to bringing hospitality into crypto. Because I remember a while back, you know, he and I were running through Aave. He wanted to do some loans and supplying some assets on Aave. And I was sitting there with him on a Zoom call, and he just kept getting frustrated with how many transactions needed to be approved, then signed, then go to this swap, then go back here, then redeposit into Aave. And he was like, this is not sustainable for the average person. And just, you know, to give you an idea, like, Eric is a very technical savvy guy who had a lot of exposure to crypto even before, you know, we decided to found World Liberty, and he went to Wharton Business School. So if a guy like that is getting frustrated with the user experience of using crypto, something's wrong here. And we need to rather than try to tell him, oh no, you just do this and then you do that, we have to listen to people like that and say, what do we need to do as an industry and as builders to be able to create products that the average person who hasn't gone to Wharton, who doesn't have crypto experience, are able to get involved here and actually help move this whole thing forward?
Yeah.
So Eric came up with the phrase that, like, as a company, we really need to make it our priority to bring hospitality to crypto and to make the ease of use and the UI UX way better than anything that we've already seen in crypto.
Yeah.
So I think when we release our World Liberty Financial app, everybody is going to see that it's a monumental step forward and a big shift in how crypto can be transacted.
Yeah. You ever think it's a blessing and a curse being so associated with them? I mean, probably all the mainstream heat wouldn't come if it wasn't.
No, it's nothing but a blessing.
Yeah.
They have been incredible to work with. They have been absolutely visionaries in this whole thing, bringing an entirely different side to the company that we didn't necessarily bring to the table. Yeah. And I'm not just talking about their, attention and exposure that they get in the media. I mean, Don, Eric, Barron, they are all such smart, gifted people, and they are so excited about what we're building at World Liberty Financial. There's not a time of day that I can't call them, whether it's 1 a.m, 7 a.m, 10 p.m, where they don't answer the phone and are excited to do this. They are telling us that they've never been more excited to do a project. And this is not me speaking for them. This is what they've said to us and even to other media sources. This is their passion.
Yeah.
And their ability to bring traditional financial knowledge and experience to the table has been part of the reason that we've been so successful, probably a huge reason that we've been so successful.
Yeah.
Because in this room, there's a lot of people, and not just in this room, but in crypto as a whole, we have there's no lacking of smart people with great ideas. But the problem is that we're all so contained in this little bubble of crypto that sometimes it takes somebody who has more of a traditional financial background to come in and really shine a light on the problems that we have and what needs to be done to move it into mainstream adoption. And they have been absolutely fundamental and critical to that happening. So I would say it's been nothing but a blessing. They are the absolute best business partners that anybody could ever ask for. And I really, I really mean it when I say that everyone should be so lucky to have partners like that, not because of who they are, but the type of people that they are individually.
We've got about 30 seconds left, so maybe we can keep this last one tight. Think about the 5 to 10 year vision here. If you guys are wildly successful, you actually achieve everything that you want to achieve. What does this business look like? What kind of scale are we talking about? Is it a massive? Is it the biggest wallet? Is it the biggest brokerage? Is it what are we? Is it a publicly traded company? What's tell me if you achieve all your wildest dreams, what this looks like.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say if we achieve our wildest dreams. I think we're actually past that inception point, and now it's just a matter of going through the motions and putting in the time and the hard work. I truly believe that we've overcome the challenges as a company that we were going to face, and now it's literally just a matter of time before USD1 is the largest stablecoin by market cap.
Do you think USD1 will be the largest stablecoin?
I do. I truly do. And I think everybody's going to agree with that when they see a bunch of the developments that happen over the coming months. I think that almost everybody is going to be using a World Liberty Financial app to be able to transact with friends, family, but also to be able to save and earn in a way that you can't at traditional financial institutions. And I believe that World Liberty Financial is going to set a new standard for how crypto and DeFi is adopted and will be a household name.
Zach, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
Appreciate it.